Alright everyone, welcome to week 6 of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Junior Varsity for Photosage Esports. Our first matches should be beginning very soon.
Step into the ring.
Alright, it looks like our first match is about to begin. We're going to have Precision versus Cola here. Both players playing Swordies, however, Cola is going to be using the Roy and Precision is going to be playing Cloud. This character, this Cloud, is very atypical for a sword fighter. His main gimmick is that he has that limit gauge that you can see at the bottom left-hand side, the top left of his character icon. And what that does is when it's full, it will change his movement physics and give him access to boosted versions of his special attacks. You'll see Precision accidentally already burned one of them. He has 4 special attacks, Blade Beam, a projectile, Cross Slash, which is a close-range multi-hit attack, Limit Charge, which is down special, and Climb Hazard, which you can see here after Precision accidentally jumps off the stage and SDs. And both these all 4 of these moves will get enhanced with Limit. Limit Charge specifically going to be turned to a massively powerful finishing touch, a move with low damage but extremely high knockback. Low Precision's making up for the deficit of the SD, doing some great forward smash reads, getting Cola off stage, waiting for him to do a predictable ledge getting option. However, Cola instead goes to the ledge, get attack, and is able to blow through it, and the Limit Cross Slash here just barely misses. That move does have high knockback, however, it's not as high as one may expect. In fact, Cola's side special while playing as Roy actually has comparable, if not greater, knockback, which is sort of a meme in the community. However, that single SD is doing a lot for Cola. That being said, he still is at a deficit, losing his second stock to Precision at 70%. The Blade Beam Limit Enhanced Gets blown through by the respawn visibility, doesn't able to get it. However, one of Cloud's biggest weaknesses is going to come into play, and that's going to be his recovery. This character's recovery is not good. Currently getting stuffed out by Double Edge Dance, just trying to find an opening. Gets it with the forward smash. Doesn't quite get any opportunity to capitalize off it though. No tech chase on the platforms, and isn't able to get a combo out of it because it's simply too slow. However, does hit a reverse hit the up smash. Once again, not able to convert off of it. Cola gets a straight hit, however, he does have a percent deficit, gets hit by the climb hazard. Avoids the forward smash, gets hit by the down air. All Precision has to do is hit him with the limit move, which he tries to do, however, it gets stuffed out. It's a forward smash. Cola trying to use his own up special laser to anti-air. Isn't able to get it, gets forward air off stage. Goes back and doesn't cross slash, just camping out with Blade Beam. Goes to Climb Hazard when he tries to jump over. Cola in a dire situation right now at 155%. He does have max rage, but is a comeback mechanic that enhances knockback at high percents. However, if he isn't able to get an opening, he's not able to do much. That double edge dance missing might have just cost him the set. Just whips the forward air. Finally hits with the actual double edge dance, just barely not enough to kill. Charges Flare Blade, isn't able to time it correctly, however, is able to forward air off stage, hits it with the Flare Blade again as he loses Limit Climb Hazard, and Cola manages to take it back from almost losing. That third stock percentage was dominating, however, he just wasn't able to finish it out, and Cola takes the very first game. Now, right off the bat here, we can see both players were sort of struggling to take stocks, aside from that one SD from Precision. Both of them were relatively good at avoiding dying, although Precision did have that one interaction where he lost off stage just because Cloud's recovery is not very good. And that's something that Cola could capitalize a bit more off of. Roy's edge guarding is actually pretty solid because his moves have a ton of knockback. His main gimmick is that the base of his sword, the hilt of it, is going to deal more damage than the actual blade of it. And because edge guarding typically requires that one go a bit closer to the opponent, go off stage and intercept them, Roy's recovery is Roy's edge guarding is very, very easy to do, as long as you're careful and don't accidentally SD, and very, very powerful due to the aforementioned high damage and high knockback of his sweet spot hitboxes. Cloud's recovery is very, very bad. Climb Hazard is his only recovery special, and it does not go far in the slightest. It does have an extension for use in actual combos and just hitting the opponent to deal some extra damage. However, it is not good for recovery, as it just instantly sends him straight down. It doesn't let you ult the momentum. It's not a mix-up tool. It's just bad for that specific purpose. So Cola could definitely take advantage of that. And something Precision could take a lot more advantage of are the limit moves. Mainly finding confirms into them and finding safe opportunities to do them, because we saw a couple situations where he tried using a limit move. However, because it burns limit the instant you do it, regardless of if it hits, Cola was just able to hit him out of the startup of it, and he wasn't actually able to take advantage of it. But it looks like we're going to be seeing a character switch over to Pyra and Mythra, also known as Aegis by the community. These are essentially two characters in one. They have a similar moveset, but different special moves and very, very different properties. The general gist is that Pyra is going to be the stronger but slower one, and Mythra is going to be the weaker but faster one. Generally, Mythra is considered to be better, however, Pyra does have a ton of advantages. And we will begin to see those once the set actually starts. Looks like they're selecting their stage here. And this is actually, Cola's not going to have to change his game plan too much for this set, because similar to Cloud, both these characters also struggle with recovery. Arguably, actually, to an even greater extent than Cloud does, because they don't have the limit mechanic. They don't have the ability to just swap what their special moves do if they meet a certain requirement. Their recovery is always going to be terrible, because that was one of the advantages of limit, is that Climb Hazard becomes an actually good recovery tool. Starting off here with the Mythra, a lot faster, better in neutral, however not as good for securing KOs. However, a low percentage, that's not going to be as big of a factor, so Percentage is going to want to rack up damage with Mythra, win neutral a ton, and then use Pyra probably to swap and finish off with the kill. That being said, Cola can intercept it, but he doesn't appear to be able to. Mythra is just too fast. Precision's running circles around him with a slight percent lead. Cola tries using Blazer to anti-air, doesn't work. Gets knocked off stage by the side B. Goes for the Luna Buster. Doesn't get it. Gets hit by the dash attack instead. Goes for yet another side special. Isn't able to get it. Gets the forward smash though. Though, as we mentioned, very weak character, and Cola just barely misses the ledge, trying to delay his up special throw up. The timing but just does it a bit too late and isn't able to make it back. Choosing forward tilt, finally is able to hit Blazer the anti-air. Doesn't do a lot of knockback though. Chooses to go to ledge. Trying to use that platform as a risky approach. Platforms are generally not good positioning in this game. The dash attack probably gets caught by the double edge dance, and that is going to be the stock. Both these characters are relatively light. They're around average, slightly below average. So Roy's high knockback moves are going to deal a ton here. Here we see, though, some already unique mechanics coming out here. Mythra has a mechanic known as Vision, where she can essentially... her dodges will have an extra area of effect, and if you time them within a specific window, it will slow the opponent down, making punishments easier. And this is something that only she has access to. Pyra doesn't have a mechanic comparable to this. However, she does have better hitboxes on top of her moves. She has slightly more range than Mythra does. 3 range in other forms. In terms of Pyra actually technically having a projectile, although it's not typically used as a projectile because she throws the sword out. All of her moves use the sword. She's unable to use any of her attacks while it's out. That doesn't seem to be as big of a problem for precision. Choosing to present go down. Try using the aggressively. Not able to get it though. That forward smash is going to take the second stock. Cola trying to play around it. That is a gigantic hitbox, and basically that entire explosion is a kill. However, Cola has found a counter to it in terms of a literal counter. That move will increase in its damage depending on the damage whenever it counters. However, it's not able to counter that one, and that's going to be the stock. Both characters now on last stock. Cola is a minuscule percent lead, which is now over after that dash attack followed by the side special. Goes for the Chrono Dust. Doesn't get it. Yet again, that side special being very, very useful for precision. Cola not finding a way to counter it. With the up special, not able to get it. They have attack with, hits it with the forward tilt, attack chase. Doesn't able to convert off of it. Side B sends him off stage once again. Precision here out of that side B. Cola starting to get a feel for how to dodge it though. Oh, tries using it in the wrong direction this time. Intercepts it with the Blazer. That move does have armor, so even if the side B does hit him, he's still able to just blast right through it. Cola does get hit by that Chrono Dust, though. Avoids that one. Forward smash just barely whiffs. Playing Pyra, this character is going to be a lot easier for Cola to punish, but also a lot more risky for him to approach because she does have good kill options. Oh, that could have been it if they connected properly. Cola not able to find the punish he's looking for. Listening to the spamming in, but he armors through it. The aforementioned armor on Blazer coming into effect, actually winning the Cola the set 2-0 in that last stock situation. Right, and here we have our next set. We're going to be having, I believe this is Young Morton playing under the tag Juggernaut. But for now we will just go with Bowser Jr. versus Cola once again. Playing Bowser Jr. here, obviously versus Roy, character you don't see very often. He has a lot of really weird tools, don't necessarily mesh well all that well with each other. However, he does have a few good moves. You've been seeing a lot of it. That side special is actually probably his best move. It's safe, it kills, it's just generally very good. We also see that up air there is going to be another useful tool about the Junior's arsenal. His jab kills, his forward smash is Chafe on shield, and he has a Mecha Koopa attack that essentially just sets a projectile on the stage that walks around and has a constantly active hitbox. However, Cole is making really quick work of him, just not allowing him to get in at all. That's one of Bowser Jr.'s bit of minor weakness. However, he does have a very unique strength. The clown car, the thing that he's actually riding in, and himself have actually two different hurt boxes. The hurt box on his body takes more damage than average, and the one on this clown car actually takes less. And if both of them are hit at the same time, then the clown car takes less, meaning that on average, this character actually will take less damage than every other character in the game. That being said, Cola is still managing to just breeze through him, already taking the first stock at 144%. Bowser Jr. not able to close it out, just constantly using dash attack. That is not a kill move. Just trying to use double edge dance to space him out, using a lot of forward air. Gets hit by the cannonball though. That is, funnily enough, not typically considered a good move. Usually considered one of the worst, and that is going to finish off Cola's first stock. There he does have a slight percent lead, around 53%. It's liable to be lost very quickly. This is a high damage game regardless of the character you're playing. Gets knocked off stage. Oh, tags him with the blazer. Gets back on. Doesn't edge guard from Bowser Jr. Isn't able to go. He accidentally does the entire version of double edge dance. Off stage and accidentally SDs. This could be a shift in momentum. Cola was winning this game, but on the back foot. Double dance on shield. Jab hits him, gets nicked by the side B. However, is able to counter the forward air. Goes in for an aggressive up air, trying to get him in disadvantage. Isn't able to work though. Gets caught out by the dash attack yet again. Bowser making great use of his dash attack as a punishing option against Roy's more unsafe moves. So the forward air off stage goes for the flare blade, doesn't get it. Goes for another forward air, trying to knock him off stage and break the edge guard. Double edge dance. Oh, gets tipped by the down air and then accidentally up airs, putting himself into more lag. Cola SD for the second time in the game. Bowser Jr. takes game one. Right, so that first match between Young Morton and Cola was pretty rough, mainly because of the two SDs from Cola. If Cola hadn't done that, he might have been able to take that. Bowser Jr. is a character who just generally lacks good moves. He has a couple of them that are standouts, as the aforementioned forward smash, which is unpunishable on shield, and a jab, which is fast, safe, and kills. However, his tilts are not considered very good. His smash attacks outside of forward smash are somewhat mediocre, and his recovery is uniquely exploitable because, unlike almost every other character in the game, his recovery up special puts him into a special state of freefall. You may have seen it a bit earlier. It's the move where he ejects himself from the clown car, and it gives him a unique hammer attack, which is very, very strong and very, very fast. However, the downside is that he retains that state whenever he gets hit out of his up special, meaning that if he gets edge guarded after using up special, he does kind of just die. So Cola could potentially go off stage, take advantage of that. However, Cola has shown a bit of a hesitancy to go off stage with Roy, as he does have a limited recovery in terms of distance. It's harder to intercept than Bowser Jr. absolutely, but like the actual distance that it goes does make edge guarding pretty difficult when paired with his fast falling speed. For what it's worth, he could also do a bit better to shield a bit more of what Bowser Jr. is doing and use up special out of shield more. That's a generally good punish option for Roy, thanks to its armor and speed. However, I can understand the hesitancy given how unsafe it is on whiff. going into game 2, Cole is going to have to mainly just avoid those SDs and just play better neutral overall. But however, I do think that's what it takes to take this. Oh, how gets instantly caught out on the Mecha Koopa. That is something that Morton hasn't been using a lot of this, so I could potentially see more on game 2. Now with a bit of a flatter stage like this with less room to run off, and Cola instantaneously SDs again. Oh, this has not been a good set for Cola. That is the 3rd SD so far. Gets caught out by the side special, gets hit with the back air, massive percent deficit, as well as a stock deficit. Gets hit by a dash attack, tries using the hammer attack, gets it to catch out the Blazer. Cola air dodges back to stage, hits him with an up air, trying to get it as a vantage state, goes for the fully charged forward smash. The sweet spot does hit, however, he's not able to get it, tries using Blazer yet again, that move is very, very unsafe on whiff. Forward smash. Close to Roy, pokes the sword, does more damage, that's going to move more than I expected. Using a double-edged dance, still at 100%, but at least now stocks are equalized. This is still an absolute mountain to climb. We're trying to find advantage. Avoid the side special though. Double-edged dance off stage, goes for a Blazer yet again. None of these have actually connected yet. Gets hit with the cannonball, catching the air dodge. Dash attacks really whiff. Once again, the Blazer whiffs. Thrown off stage. This might be the stock. Oh, uses the cannonball, tries to ledge trap, but isn't able to. Cole returns back to stage safely. Goes for another Blazer. None of these are hitting. Attack logs him up. Tries to go for the hammer hit yet again. However, this time the Blazer actually hits due to the reduced error control that the clown car eject gives him. And now Young Morton is the one SDing. Cola is at 153%, however, he has maximum rage, which means he deals increased knockback. And Roy is already a high knockback character, and instantaneously that hammer hit of the clown car eject is going to be enough. As Young Morton takes Cola second stop. There is now on even stocks after 2 SDs on both sides. So one of the main advantages of that side special there, my Bowser Jr.'s arguably best move. He does a ton of damage if you're able to connect both hits. The aggressive ledge get up. Morton ever does hit him with the side B. That is a kill option. And edge guards with an air. One of the few edge guards we've seen in most sets so far. And one of the few ones that is actually successful. Young Morton takes the set.
Jr. wins.
Alright, and coming up next, we're going to be having a very interesting set. We're going to be having Cola versus Grape, although that tag does say Swarzy. That's simply because Grape and Swarzy play on the same Switch account. That is actually Grape. Both of these players are from Fort Osage, and both of them have been in relative contention for the #1 spot on the junior varsity team. Grape, as of late, does have a better record than Cola, though. While Cola did start out as the #1 seed, there's a very good chance, but by the end of the season, Grape may have secured his place in that position. So it'll be interesting to see these two players, after 5 weeks, finally be able to go off face to face. Alright, and it looks like the set is about to begin. As expected, Grape's going to be going Sephiroth, and Cola's going to be Roy. Both these characters are sword characters, however, you might notice a slight difference in the length of the sword this is going to give Grape a pretty substantial advantage in the matchup. However, Roy might be able to make up for it with his sheer speed and power. Granted, both these characters are very powerful, however, Grape's going to have to worry a lot more about it, considering that Sephiroth's power is generally a bit harder to hit with, since his sweet spots are in the middle of the sword as opposed to the center of it, as Roy's army, they're harder to hit, and importantly, Sephiroth is a significantly slower and lighter character than Roy is, which is going to be massive, especially in the ranges that Roy wants to excel at. So we can already see here, Cola just dominating the pace of the match. However, finally gets caught out by some attacks. Looks like Grape using a lot more tilts than he traditionally does, not going for anti-air up smash nearly as much. Trying to get used to a few of Sephiroth's more conventional tools, primarily that forward tilt. That is a very fast, pretty strong, and very large attack. Arguably Sephiroth's best move. Grape's aiming to use, get more used to it. That being said, Old Habits Die Hard and that Octo Slash, while it is good in terms of damage and knockback, is wildly unsafe both on block and on whiff. Same whiffing it. Force Smash however, uses the counter to catch out the attempted punish. Using Flare to cover his approach, he tries to go for a dash attack, one hit, uses the forward tilt, gets him off stage, Cola at 150%, just waiting for him to do something. The down air off stage, 169, not able to finish it off, however, that flare into the dash attack is going to be enough. Cola finally loses his first stock. Grape has a slight disadvantage, however, he could easily make this back with 1 or 2 exchanges. After panic counter, neither of the players able to hit the other. Looks like Cola got caught on platform spit there. Grape goes for the anti-air up tilt instead of up smash, trying to use something a bit more safe this time around. Using a lot more of his tilt attacks. Barely misses. Wait for him, goes for the up smash. Isn't able to go for it though, gets intercepted. Uses that forward smash. You can see here that tactical range he has over Cola is going to be important. Octo Slash is back to stage and is able to catch out the attempted flare blade by Cola. Bookling Flash uses Octo Slash yet again, sends him off to the side, sends Cola off stage, doesn't go for an edge guard, instead goes for a flare point blank. That dash attack's going to be enough. Grape start out losing the game, goes for the Giga Flare, however, it gets interrupted. That probably would have been enough to, at the very least, put a substantial setback if he had actually gotten hit by it. However, that forward smash is going to have other ideas. Both players are essentially dead even going into the last stock. Set arms on them, those will explode after a set period of time, as we can see there. And if Grape's able to get the advantage in the meantime, that could potentially lead to extended conversions and punishes. Once again, we see another benefit of the extra range is that counters, specifically for Moy, are not going to be able to hit usually against Sephiroth if you able to space them correctly. So he uses it the wrong way. Octo Slashes, tries to go for an advantage, counters the wrong direction. Sephiroth's counter only does work from that one side, so using the wrong direction is just asking to get hit. Just barely avoids the punish on the Octo Slash. Tries to bait out a counter, doesn't get it though. He's able to throw him off stage. Up smashes at the ledge, isn't able to get anything. The forward tilt from Cole just barely misses. That one's going to hit though, sends him off stage. Octo Slash barely loses a punish opportunity. There's too much lag on the Octo Slash. Not able to punish the Flare Blade Black to stage either. If he had used the smaller version of his up special, the one that wasn't charged, he probably could have won the set right there. At the very least, won the game. And he's going to be able to counter that, however, it's not going to be enough to kill. For the up special. That down air is going to catch out Cola at 172%. Grape needs to find a way to finish this off, and he's going to find it with that dash attack. A nerve-wracking game 1 as Grape barely managed to take it. That was a last stock, last hit situation. That's not something you see very often. Just going to show how evenly matched these two are. That being said, their playstyles are very different. Grape is generally going to want to play a lot more neutral. Cola, generally his game plan is to rush in and stay in. He's going to hit you with things, and he's going to just try to get you off stage, so that way he can just set up his Flare Blade ledge traps. Grape, on the other hand, has a lot more emphasis on smash attacks, or at least he generally does. We've seen a lot more tilts out of him this game. He may be trying to go for an approach that's a bit harder to punish, which is probably for the best. Those up smashes were very, very unsafe and got punished a lot more times than they probably should have, just because he used them in situations where there were other better options available. what's especially interesting about him using more tilts that he now has is trying to use a bit more of Sephiroth forward tilt, which, as I mentioned earlier, is one of, if not Sephiroth's single best move. It's great in neutral. Didn't see as much of it that game. Saw a lot more down tilt and up tilt, trying to find anti-airs against Cola, when potentially Grape's efforts could be better spent trying to edge guard Roy, or simply pay attention, get better reads, and potentially hit it with a meaty smash attack, because there was one thing about that set, it was that Grape could not finish out a stock. He just really struggled to KO Cola, and that just gave Cola a lot of time to rack up damage and potentially get a comeback. Now obviously that didn't come to fruition in the first game, however, we'll see what happens in game 2, because that game was close enough, anything could happen at this point. Both these players started out relatively close to each other, with Cola being a bit further ahead. However, as the season has gone on, starting with week 2, Grape has actually exceeded him in terms of win-loss rates. Now the two of them are about as close as they were in week 1 to each other, but in the opposite direction. Now Grape has the advantage over Cola in terms of set count. So if he's not able to finish out these stocks, if he's not able to just play neutral better against him and prevent him from getting in, Cola could potentially see his spot go up, and Grape could potentially see his decreased. So have to see how things go. Looks like both players are going. It'll be interesting to see what stage they choose. I honestly can't think of a stage that would benefit one character massively over the other, because both of them generally thrive off of smash attack punishes, or at the very least Roy does, and Grape plays Sephiroth like he does. So a stage like Battlefield would potentially probably be better for Grape, because his smash attacks will still be able to work relatively consistently, and he'll have a bit of safety in regards to the recent up tilt anti-airs that he's been trying, because that move goes through platforms, and also be able to land a bit better. However, in terms of the other stages, Kalos will be relatively equal for both of them, because both their characters can somewhat struggle with recover. It might help Cola a bit more, because it gives him more flat ground to use his own punish options, as well as giving him an extra avenue to recover, where Sephiroth doesn't need that as much. He's a bit better with getting back to stage. Pokemon Stadium 2 is nice and neutral. Regular Battlefield's already been discussed. Final Destination's pretty similar to Pokemon into Kalos Pokemon League and all things considered. However, instead of that, the stage counterpick, we're going to be seeing a character counterpick as Grape chooses to go Ganondorf on Final Destination. Cole's got a lot of really good punish opportunities here. Immediately goes to a Warlock Punch, one of the worst moves in the game, if not the single worst. Cole already has a lead here. Uses the forward tilt, forward smash, the up smash just barely whiffs. He's trying to go for this. I don't know why Grape is going for these Warlock punches. He knows that this move is not good. He's just trying to call Cole out on something. And it might just be missing one side. You can hear that flame choke. No, it looks like he's doing these very intentionally, and none of them have hit so far. However, Cole hasn't punished any of them too well either. That move leaves you open for a ton of time. Cole potentially capitalize off that with a massive punish. That being said, even with all these whiff Warlock punches, Ganondorf is still a scary character to face, just because he deals so much damage. Like that roll read, if he had hit that forward smash, Cola probably would have been dead. That being said, he is not one of his weaknesses. He is slow, and as we can see here, Grape does not have a good recovery. This character's recovery is terrible. Probably the second worst in the game, not quite the worst. It's still very bad. You can see here is also very slow. That double edge dance was actually able to call it out the forward smash attempt. And Cola SDs, this might have been what Grape was looking for. However, he still has a massive advantage. Cola's been suffering from a lot of SDs so far. Using that respawn invincibility just completely to get the Warlock punch. Once again, Grape's not able to make it back to stage. Ganondorf's recovery just not doing any favors for him. Cola did not take a single % of damage that entire stock. This is the punish, however, does get a forward up smash, goes for forward smash, isn't able to get it. The grab just barely whiffs, that move has no range. Roy massively outdamages him, it outranges him, and outspeeds him. It's gonna be bad. foot just barely whiffs. That move is a decent punisher. However, it's sort of a noob trap. If you know how to avoid it, it's not very good. Still with the up smash, not enough to kill. There's one thing that's good about Ganondorf. His weight is very high, which means he takes less knockback than other characters does. However, he's not able to do it quite yet. That up smash is barely not enough to kill. Forward smash is going to be enough, though. He now has rage. Armoring through the respawn options, it's not going to matter because he does not have passive armor. It's only on that attack. Tilts him against the JV2 stock, 0% damage with 1 stock remaining, taking the second game, tying it up to 1-1 in the set. That character counter pick, honestly, I am not sure what Grape was thinking with that character counter pick. He was already a game up. He did not have to go the worst character, debatably the worst character in the game on game 2. He was doing fine as is. I mean, this is a massive swing in momentum for Cola. Because the thing about Smash is that a lot of it is about mindset. And if you've just lost a game, you're going to be feeling dejected. You're going to feel like you're not maybe as good as you thought you were. That's going to affect your gameplay. It's going to make your gameplay more timid. It's generally going to make it worse. However, the opposite can also happen. If you win a game, you're feeling yourself. You feel like you can do anything, and you're very confident in your ability after that first win. So that absolute sweep might have been what Cola needed, because now he has that momentum. He has the momentum of having just gotten a win. He has that mental boost that comes with getting a win after losing game 1. Like that belief that he might be able to pull this off. And that might be enough to affect his gameplay, make him willing to take more risks that pay off in the end. Or it may be enough to just shoot him in the foot. As we can see here, winning a game can also make you potentially make some poor choices. Grape choosing Ganon was probably made because he won game 1 and felt like he had a bit of a safety net, but now that safety net's gone. It'll be interesting to see whether or not Grape continues on with the strategy of trying to play a character who only has to win 1 or twice in order to take a stock, or if he's going to go the more consistent route with the character that he actually plays, that being Sephiroth. Interesting to see this go on. Yep, as predicted, Grape's going to be going back to Sephiroth for game 3. Doesn't want to blow this. Looks like they'll be going back to Final Destination. I'd say this very slightly benefits Cola in the situation. However, it's not going to benefit him much. You see here, Grape already hitting with flurry of attacks, getting retaliated by the double-edged dance. Cola waiting for him to whiff something. Just barely misses it. Gets caught up by the forward smash. Huge percent deficit. The Mega Flare just barely whiffs. Goes to the up smash. Typical Grape fashion. Isn't able to get it though. And that forward smash is going to be enough to take Cola's first stock very quickly. Less than half a minute has passed on the clock so far. Gets the down throw, gets the up, barely misses the up smash once again. Grape's back in form, using a lot more smash attacks than he did game 1. Goes to the side, isn't able to get it. Tries countering, however, caught in between the counter window and the automatic attack. There is a window where he can be hit. That or it was just a very weird cross-up interaction. That counter's going to be able to hit Cola, not only dealing 55, now 65.6% damage to Grape so far. Grape not having lost a single stock, while Cola himself is at 87% on his second. This bench very bad. He has a huge deficit. Sephiroth is a light character, and Roy is very strong. He's not exactly what would be called a comeback character. He doesn't win in 1 or 2 neutral exchanges, with the difficulty being getting them. His difficulty comes from like getting enough of them and just not being stuffed out by characters that are slightly faster. Finally takes the first stock, covers a massive deficit. Grape has a very comfortable lead here as Cola has 114% gets a projectile on him. Potentially capitalize off of it. The jab goes into it. Predicts a high recovery. Up smash is barely whiffs. Cola tries to jab him out of the way after not going to work. Goes back off stage. Uses the third recovery. Up smash going to be taking Cola's second stock. Moves down nearly a full 2-stock lead going into the match point. However, Cola quickly responding to the double-edged dance. Barely avoids it. The forward smash just misses. That would have probably been enough to take the stock. And that dash attack's going to be able to. All of a sudden, Grape's lead is nowhere to be found. Both these players are essentially even. first, barely misses. The Blazer just misses. Forward tilts him off stage. The forward smash barely whiffs. Both players just whipping their smash attacks. Down throws Cola off stage. Gets caught by Grape's Nair. Gets caught by Grape's forward smash. Up he's back to stage. Just barely is able to avoid the down smash. Cola reverse forward smashes him. Grape's able to make it back with an Octo Slash. Just shields it. Gets caught with a weak forward smash. Not enough time to send it back off stage. Both characters with their forward smashes. Cola plays around the counter, gets his shield. His own counter is actually avoided by a whipping jab from Grape. The weak of the forward smash once again hitting Grape. Up smash is barely whiffed. Gets a grab, gets him off stage. Goes for the forward smash, able to shield it though. Forward tilts in retaliation. Tries to go for the tech chase, dashes out. Doesn't work. Direction. Launch him off stage with the dash out. Goes for the Mega Flare. Mega Flare is going to be enough. Cola loses the set. Grape takes it 2-1 after a narrow Game 1 victory, a Game 2 sweep by Cola, and the comeback by Grape in Game 3. That set was incredible. Both players play that very well, as we can obviously see both pretty roughly equivalently skilled at the game, and yeah, just good set.
into the ring.
All right, and at the very least, Cola's final set of the day is going to be here. It's going to be going against Alice Lizzie, playing as Terry. This character does a lot of damage when played optimally. However, he also does a lot of damage when it's played very simply, as we can see here. Going for that, you're going to see a lot of that this set. That jab, jab, power dunk. Terry's unique ability to cancel certain normals into specials. Looks like Alice is just waiting for the opportunity to do them. So here, that is a very, very good combo. Starts off the jab, so it's very, very safe, and it's very easily confirmable because it just lasts for so long. There's a lot of unique mechanics here. Terry has a couple of weird things. For one, he has a special spot dodge attack. Most characters in this game, if you press down while shielding, they will do a spot dodge, which will use some invincibility. However, Terry can actually cancel his with a special attack. It's pretty useful in pressure situations, but doesn't see a lot of use in neutral. However, the main thing that he has, and we might see here soon, given this sudden shift of momentum from Cola, is the Go meter. At over 100%, this character gets extra super special moves, which require specific inputs to do to deal a ton of damage and knockback. However, whether or not Alice is actually going to need them is up for question, as that's going to take Cola's first stock. Just be able to find an opening, finally gets a forward smash. Blazer just misses, Alice throws him off stage. There's intercepted by the forward air, and now he has the Go meter. Whether or not Alice will actually use it, we'll find out. Power Dunk hits him. Looks like he goes for the Power Geyser, which is one of the super moves. However, once he gets stuffed out, goes for it. A ton of shield damage, very good at shield poking. Tries to use the Power Geyser to confirm, however, accidentally uses it the wrong direction. That move is done by rotating the joystick in specific directions and then pressing an attack button. So if you accidentally do it the wrong way, you will face the other direction while doing it. We're finally able to take the first stock, however, he has a massive deficit here. So the jab, jab, power dunk punish, and that's going to be enough to kill. Alice now on a game point. Cola only has one stock left to his name. Both characters are roughly even percents, however, Alice does have the stock lead. He is gonna have to play this very well in order to make this back. You can see Power Wave just spacing him out. For the dash attack. That rising tackle is not hit a single time, however, it's a very scary anti-hit who is fully invincible if it's charged. Most of Terry's special moves actually have similar special motions to this aforementioned super, as that Power Up is going to KO. And that's one of them. If you hold it down, then press up on the button, you will do a fully invincible uppercut. However, it's very unsafe, and as we can see here, Alice doesn't necessarily need to use it in order to take the very first game. Cola's biggest problem that game was absolutely that he was not abusing Roy's range advantage. That's the one of the things that he does have over Terry, it's that his range is a lot better because Terry, obviously, melee fighter limited to his legs and his arms, whereas Roy has a massive sword, and that sword does not have hurt boxes on it. Hurt box is the section of a character that gets damaged. And because a sword is not part of a character, they do not have a hurt box, and therefore there is a huge amount of distance between the part of their attack that deals damage and the part of their attack that can take damage. This means that Roy should be able to control the neutral pretty effectively, especially given his better movement speed than Terry. However, Terry does hit very, very hard, and unlike Roy, he doesn't need to rely on sweet spots in order to get that power. He also has these special moves and the special canceling ability on a ton of his normals, which can make his damage output just random pokes explosive, and it looks like interesting choice. Cole appears to be going random. That might have been a misinput. He might have been going for a different character there. Not quite sure what's going on. Yeah, it looks like Cola's trying to go random. This is what it sounds like, just a random character spins the roulette wheel and gets Fox, I guess. Can't say I've seen this one before. Now, Fox is a pretty fast character. He has really good close range options. He has a reflector, as you can see there with the bounce pressure, and he has some burst movement, although it's not typically good offense. That side is not typically considered to be a very good combo starter, or its main use is just his recovery. Finally, we see the rising tackle land here actually work. Cola, I don't believe he's familiar with how to play Fox. Jabs in the wrong direction. Not really good at the down air, barely whiffs, just trying to play Fox like Roy, building up percent from afar using that laser. Mainly that's used usually as a tool to try and get people to approach you, by racking up the percent from a safe distance. However, Cole appears to be just using it as just to deal damage. Not so much to get Alice to approach, so much as to build some percent safely. For forward tilt, the down air. So it goes for the up smash, just this, and that back throw from Alice is going to be enough to take the first stock. Fox is a light character who can struggle to recover, mainly due to his fast fall speed and his relatively low movement in comparison to that. It's also very easy to intercept him. However, he does have some advantages. He's very, very fast. He has a massive speed advantage over Terry. That's going to matter this game. We're going to see. Geyser goes in the opposite direction. Alice is not able to get a hold of those super special movement puts, or at least not in the right direction. However, Cola is going to get the up smash confirmed. That's one of Fox's best moves, one of his best moves in general. It's big, it's fast, and it has much more power. Damage from afar, tries using down as a landing option, however, doesn't last quite long enough to use it. Fair from Alice, charging the power from the rising tackle, waiting for him to approach. It's the up air. Very up tilt. And he runs into the up smash. Alice taking Cola's second stock. A hard read. Cola launches him off stage. Alice buffers an air dodge. However, is able to safely get back. Cola not familiar with how to edge guard with Fox. However, he's able to chase with the back air. Once again, the down air hits the preemptive out of shield option from Alex. So that is going to be very unsafe on shield. Powerdunk's going to be able to punish. Puts out the forward smash, is able to whiff punish. Taking his time waiting for Alice to do something. Waiting for Alice to choose an option. Reads the roll correctly, however, doesn't get anything off of it. Dash attacks him. Looks like he's going for forward tilt pressure. Finally gets a down tilt. Goes in the wrong direction. The forward just barely misses. Hits him with finally one of the super move. That's Buster with a very complex input of down forward forward down forward forward, then an attack. However, he's going to finish with a power geyser instead. Buster Wolf was not high enough percent to kill, as Alice Lizzie takes the set 2-0. Alright, and with that rather unusual conclusion to Cola's 4th set of the day, that's going to be all. Thank you for tuning in to Week 6 of Junior Varsity Super Smash Bros. Ultimate for Photosage Esports. We might see you on Thursday for any potential make